Right, Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh Basha Me'asha Basha Malawach Kodash. Double honor, son to the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Right, so I did this is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 13, chapter 13, titled Amnon Defiles Tamar. Right, because I did a video before this, and I went into something else. So I'll just make another part, right, which is this one. Which is going to be the first part of 2 Samuel 13, right, and first one. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister. Now the word fair sister has nothing to do with light skin. It has everything to do with beautiful and comely. You have light chicks that are fair. You have dark skinned women that are fair. You have brown skinned women that are fair. Here. Right. Yeah. If they would be beautiful, then all of them would be fair. Fair women has nothing to do with skin color. It just means beautiful. Just like how the rainbow is changed into a sodomite symbol. If you go before the 1960s, actually 1970s, but anyway, 1960s, yeah, that thing would not have been sticking around. The rainbow had nothing to do with sodomites. They changed things. If you read the book of 1984, you will see that that's what they have been planning, which is the changing of meaning of words. They've been planning that since then. I can show you a summary of that book. Wait. Right, now this is the appendix of the book. If you look up that word, it's talking about, basically the summary at the end of the book, and then it is explained to what's going on. You can pause the video if you have the time for yourself. This one, Old Thinkers, Ancient Hebrew, New. Anyway, here, when old speak, you can pause the video if you want to, of course. When old speak had been once and for all superseded, basically replaced, the last link with the past would have been severed. History had already been rewritten. They've been doing that. But fragments of the literature of the past survived here and there, imperfectly censored, because they can't cover all the lies. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the times. Yeah, that's about that. That's basically here. And so long as one retains one's knowledge of old speak, it was possible to read them. To read them, yeah. For example, here, ruddy skin complexion. They say when the skin turns red, right? So you're gonna see here, this is the real ruddy. So it goes into this color, but you have different shades of ruddy, as you can see here. Ruddy paint. But when it comes to skin color, as people, they say that this is ruddy, according to them, because they're liars. But they can't cover all their lies, because when you type in ruddy cat, you would see this, which are different shades of brown. Look Bordeaux, but if you look at it, it's brown. This one look Bordeaux, but it's brown. It goes in it's the darker. Here, oh shit. Cow. Duck. All that there. Clothing, jacket. You see cloth? Not gonna show? Here. Shows different, but anyway. Right. You can test, you can look at the animals, then you can see the color. Right. So I'm gonna leave this here. Oh, I'm gonna leave it in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. Right, so going on. Whose name was Tamar, that fair sister that Absalom had. Absalom had a different mother. And Amnon, the son of David, loved her. So he loved her, as in sexually. That's not a good thing, by the way. And if you didn't know, this is a curse. Because King David was cursed, and therefore the Most High cursed his household. As it is written here. 2 Samuel 12:7. And Nathan said to David, Thou art the man. Thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. And I gave thee thy master's house and thy master's wives into thy bosom, which was a custom that when the man supersedes the king, and he be dead, you are allowed to take his harem, and they become yours. It's an ancient Eastern custom. And gave thee the house of Israel, because you might be thinking, what, is that adultery? No, it isn't. He's dead. And gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. But did King David actually do that? No, he did not. Because later on, he actually gave everything back to his son, Jonathan, his son, which is Mephibosheth. Oh man, I can't even pronounce the name Mephibosheth, if I'm correct. The man that was lame, the son of Jonathan that was lame. But other parts worked because he had children too. Right. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of Yahweh, to do evil in his sight? Thou hast murdered Uriah the Hittite with the sword of the Ammonites, which is the same way that Saul wanted to murder him, with the sword of the Philistines. And has taken his wife to be thy wife, and has slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore, because you did that, the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me, and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up evil against thee from thine own house, and I will take thy wives before thine eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor. He didn't know it was going to be his son. He didn't know that. So he was looking for it, but he didn't know. Well, he you know, when it happens, it's going to happen. I'm going to read about it, Lord willing. And he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of this son. For thou didst it secret. But I will do this thing before all Israel, and before the sun. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against Yahweh. And Nathan said unto David, Yahweh also hath put away thy sin. Thou shalt not die. Howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of Yahweh to blaspheme. You know, they might say like, no, not might. They actually did. Yeah, you know. Well, how come you don't kill David then, huh? Stuff like that, you know. Great occasion. The child also that is born unto thee shall surely die. Right, so that is what happened. That's that curse that came upon his family. Verse 11. I will rise up evil against thee out of thine own house. Here is where it started. Going on. Oh, okay. Where was I? Yeah, oh yeah. This was one of the curses. And Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin. And Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shemaiah, David's brother. So it was his cousin. And Jonadab was a very subtle man. He was very sneaky, very slithery like a snake. Subtle. I don't like this new thing. Here, making use of clever and indirect methods to achieve something. And it was indirect to achieve something. And it was clever. Crafty, cunning. Verse 4, and he said unto him, why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? What's wrong with you? What's going on? It's like you're leaning back or something like that, you know? You don't look like you're standing up straight. What's wrong? Was there something heavy on your shoulders or something like that? Wilt thou not tell me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother, Absalom's sister. What did I put here? Oh yeah. So, what did the Heavenly Father do to Amnon? This is what he did. Judges 14:1. And Samson went down to Timnath, and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother, and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now, therefore, get her for me to wife. I want her. Get her for me. Then his father and his mother said unto him, is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren, the 12 tribes, or among all my people, the Danites, the other 11, I should say, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, get her for me, for she pleaseth me well. He was like, nah, I'm attracted to them. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Lord Yahweh. So who did that? Let me read on. That he sought an occasion against the Philistines to fight, because they're going to fight. If you are suppressed by a nation, yeah, go touch their women and have sex with you. They're going to kill you. They're going to want to kill you. There was this movie, A Bronx Tale, I think. Was it A Bronx Tale? Yeah. It was this Italian guy that was in love with this Jake girl. And there was a racist thing going on. But there was another movie also, actually, that had kind of the same dynamics, but it was a so-called black man. And then I think it was an Italian female or something like that. And then he went to their neighborhood to pick her up, and you know, they wanted to kill him. I forgot the movie name. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. This one is a good example too. But the thing is, the one of the brother man I want, actually, because you can see the hatred there. This is not really thick hatred, because the Jacob descendants, you know, you could fuck their women. They don't care. They don't love the black woman enough to fight for her unto death, like how these others, the other nations, love their women unto murder. So if you want to be if you be with them, they want to murder you. Right. So yeah. Sicilians are jakes and stuff like that. Yeah, that's not how they feel. Not all of them. Okay. That's like talking to a house Negro. Why don't you go suck up on a house Negro? Hey, you a Jake, man. You know, you black just like us. You an Israelite. He gonna Uncle Ruckus the shit out you. Steven type 2. So don't trying to be trying to be talking to every Sicilian, hoping that they gonna, you know, kiss your pinky ring or some shit. That you gonna kiss theirs. Stuff about that. That's what he's gonna do to you. Anyway. But the Most High is the one that made him fall in love. That's the point of this. So that he's gonna touch their women, and they're gonna fight, because they're not gonna like that. You get your filthy nigga hands off of this woman. Even and the Philistines were dark skinned too. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. He can do that if he feels like it. Esther 15 in the Apocrypha. And she was ruddy. Who? Esther. She was beautiful. Again, ruddy is dark brown, different shades of brown. But yeah, beautiful brown. I can show you an example. Where is it again? Right here you have one example of a cartoon. Nowadays they call it red bone or whatever. And then I have another one, which is this one over here, which is, when you look at her, she looks like this dirt, like the red dirt. She almost looks like it. I don't know if you could see it, but yeah. That's ruddy. You have another one too. Wait, right here you have it. That's ruddy. Right. And sorry, and Esther was ruddy through the perfection of her beauty. Let me jump on forward. Well, no, actually read it. And her countenance was cheerful and very amiable. But her mind, her heart, was in anguish for fear. Then, having passed through all the doors in the palace where she was, she stood before the king, who sat upon his royal throne, and was clothed with all his robes of majesty, all glittering with gold and precious stones, and he was very dreadful. Then lifting up his countenance that shone with majesty, so he looked up like, huh? What are you doing over there? And he looked very fiercely upon her, because he was about to kill her right then and there. And I'm going to explain that here, I think. Yeah. He was going to kill her. And the queen fell down and was pale. I know this dark-skinned guy that had AIDS. He dead now. But the last time I saw him, he was pale. He was very dark back in the days, but that AIDS that got him, he was pale. He was really pale, man. He looked like Ashy Larry. He looked like this. But then naturally, you know, he used to look like this. The skin color wise, the skin tone wise. And then he turned into this, pale. Looked like he dead. You know? Right. Excuse me. And fainted, and bowed herself upon the head of the maid that went before her. Then the Heavenly Father himself changed the spirit of the king into mildness. He changed him right then and there. Same thing what he did with Amnon, and also what he did with Samson. He can do that. And what he did with the king, Pharaoh. Well, not just the Pharaoh, by the way. All kings. And all men, he's able to do that too, as you can see here. Job 33:15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then the Heavenly Father opened the ears of men in your mind, and sealed their instruction. So do you have free will? To a certain degree. You're free to serve him. But does a false prophet have free will? No, the Most High is going to use you. Since he know you a piece of shit, now he's going to use you to destroy the other pieces of shit too. So you have free will to a certain degree. Until you pass that threshing floor, that line, and then, from then on he's going to use you, because you're going to be destroyed anyway. Then he's going to use you to destroy many that follow after you. And then you're going to die along with them. They're going to die along with you, sorry. Well, it's the same thing. Anyway. And why does he do that? That he may withdraw man from his purpose. If you have proposed yourself to do something, Most High can make you do something else. Sometimes he does it to do what? And hide pride from man. He doesn't want to destroy you because he hates prideful men. So he's going to chin check you. And sometimes pride coming before destruction. Sorry. Pride coming before destruction. So you're proud now, you ain't going to be later. Or the Most High might chin check you, because he says here, the book of Sirach 2:4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. You might have been high, then the Most High make you low. Be patient. Be patient in your low estate. As a whole, he did that to the nation of Israel. But of course, this is also talking about, this is talking about individuals. But as a whole, he did that to us as a nation. We were up high. He put us low. Get him high, get him high, get him high, get him high, hit him low, hit him low, hit him low. Space Jam. He keepeth back his soul from the pit. He might not kill you. And his life from perishing by the sword. He might keep you from dying by the sword. He might put in your spirit, like, let's say you wanted to go somewhere to a party. I'm just giving an example. And all of a sudden that day come, you've been talking about it for like 2 weeks now. All of a sudden that day come, he might make you sick. You can't go. Or you just don't feel like going anymore. You'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't feel right. I don't know. And then next day you hear it was a shooting over there, stabbing, whatever. A bomb went off. You're going to thank the Lord. Oh, man. Thank the Lord I got sick that day. Or thank the Lord I just didn't feel like going. Or something else might happen, Anyway. So he can do that if he wants to. So, but this is only to do, what is it again? So man's ways, wow. Here, Proverbs 16:9. A man's mind deviseth his way, but the Heavenly Father directed his steps. Proverbs 20 and 4:24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? You can't. You're going to figure out what type of girls you like or what your favorite color is. You're going to figure it out. You're going to find out. One day you're going to find out like, oh yeah, I like this one. Yeah, you didn't know. You didn't grow up talking about, yeah, this one I'm going to like. No. You figured it out. You just looked on something one day and be like, that's my type of girl. I know my type. See? It didn't happen from the beginning. You know, so, yeah. So all you so-called black females that got an Edomite husband, you should fight those urges. Yeah. He just using you to get your ass destroyed. And your kids. Read Matthew 13 verse 36 on down. You're going to see what's going to happen to your kids. You think I'm playing. I'm just reading his words when I say you might want to throw a stone at me. You need to throw a stone at yourself or your kids. Because the Lord is going to do it. Yeah. Okay. So, we're going on. Verse 8. Ezra's, 10? Ezra's 15 and 8. Then the Most High Yahweh changed the spirit of the king into mildness, who in fear leaped from his throne and took her in his arms till she came to herself again. What's wrong with you? And comforted her with loving words and said unto her, Esther, what is the matter? I am thy brother. Be of good cheer. He's not an Israelite, but if I'm correct, he was a Shemite, but I forgot which nation he was. I think it was Assyrians. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not sure actually. Sorry. So skip that. What I just said. Assyrian. I do know I think he was a Shemite. That I do know. But anyway. Thou shalt not die. See, he wanted to kill her. And it's going to explain why he said this. Thou shalt not die. Though I think it's a misspelling here, because I don't know if it's in my Bible. I don't think so. But anyway. Thou shalt not die. Though our commandment be general, come near. And so the king held up his golden scepter and laid it upon her neck, and embraced her and said, speak to me, unto me. Anyway, here's the example of this, the explanation, I should say. Esther, this is in the King James. This is also King James, but this is King James Apocrypha. So here it is in the King James. Esther 4:11. All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces where he ruled over do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king in the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death. This is the type of power that we will get. Jake doesn't know power. We don't know to tell a person do a backflip, and if you can't do it, I'll kill you. Proverbs 16:14. In righteousness, not in wickedness, because there was a lot of men of might that did that. Nigga, do some push-ups, nigga, or we'll rape you. No, I'm not talking about that, because that's what they do in jail. That's what they do in the hood. I'm not talking about the rape. I'm talking about if you don't do something, then they're gonna beat you up or something like that. Hey nigga, you know where you at? Sometimes I just laugh at these people because they don't say that to Esau, and they don't say that to heathen nations and stuff like that. Hey nigga, what shit you claim, fool? Jacob's descendants, even though they deserve death, they are a funny bunch of people. If you just look at them, if you're looking at the movies and stuff like that, you're looking at how they do it in real life. You know, I'm talking about the knuckleheads and stuff. They're funny as hell, man. Until they rob your mother, then you ain't laughing no more. Or your daughter walking late at night from the job, going home, getting harassed, stuff like that. Then it's not funny no more. So I understand when Esau blow their fucking brains to smithereens. But I do want Esau to pay for that though. Isaiah chapter 10 explains that the Most High is going to kill you, but he's going to judge the murderer too. Proverbs 16:14. The wrath of the king is as messengers of death, but a wise man will pacify it. You're going to give him a pacifier. You're going to calm him down. That's the point. A pacifier is what a baby has in their mouth. So there is a law to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days, because he didn't want to die. That's why. The king would kill you. Esther was going to die. She was going to die. He was really, he looked fiercely upon her. He wanted to kill her. The Most High changed his mind. The same thing he did here with him, in order to curse David and his household. That's one of the curses. So let me see. No. Yeah, I don't have to read the rest. It's just an example of the same thing here. It's just an example. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter, you know, because he didn't kill her then, but he called her that time. And I think here he called her again. Yeah, he called her again. So she was supposed to come here also. And here she was not. She was not invited to come. She came. The Most High had to jump, had to intervene. That's what the Heavenly Father can do. Proverbs 21:1. For who had resisted his will? Just came in my head. Romans 9 and 19. 18. Therefore, the Heavenly Father had mercy on whom he will have mercy. He had mercy on David. He didn't have mercy on Uzziah. When Uzziah touched the Ark of the Covenant, he died right there. You know, so people might say like, yeah, but wait a minute, that's not fair. Well, that's the occasion that King David gave the enemies of the Lord. The Lord has enemies. Have you ever heard of a house Negro? That's the enemy of the Lord. One of the many type of enemies. Have you ever heard of a Satan worshiping his bitch ass nigga? Crack ass, bitch ass nigga? That's another enemy of the Lord. A Satan worshiper. They've been throughout the history for thousands of years, my man. A nigga worshiping ass, Satan ass. You are of your father the devil. The lust of your daddy you'll do. Cain, Esau, Satan himself. That's your father. O thou son of Canaan. Which is how Jeremiah called the Judite. That was an evil Judite. He called him, O son of Canaan. You. Right. So, and whom he will, he hardeneth. He make you stubborn if he wants to. Or might have mercy on you. It depends. I don't know. It's him. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who had resisted his will? No one. No one resisted his will. You can't. You can try if you want to. It's your party. You're gonna cry. But anyway, going on. Where was I? Yeah, I already done with that. Let me see. First, second Esdras, no. 2 Samuel 13 and 5. And Jonadab said unto him, Lay thee down on thy bed, and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come, and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it, and eat it at her hand. Basically, let, not physically like, feed me out of your hand like a bird or something. No, just basically, I don't know if you have the saying in America, but you have the saying here in Suriname too. South America, actually, not just Suriname. You have the saying that it's like, hey, let me taste your hand. I mean, that's a saying, because if that person over there, makes an egg, for example, and another person over there makes the same egg, it's gonna taste different because that guy is gonna, I don't know, maybe he uses other ingredients, I don't know. It's a lot of times it's different. Just like how people that have green thumb, you could tend to the garden and it doesn't grow like that, and then he does the same thing, but I don't know, with him the things start growing real good. I don't know, it's his hand, it's his spirit, I don't know what it is. I have ideas, but yeah, I think it's his spirit and his mind, the way he is. But anyway, that's another story. 6. So Amnon lay down and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come, and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat it at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, Go now to thy brother Amnon's house, and dress him meat. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down. And she took flour and kneaded it, and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes. And she took a pan and poured them out before him. But he refused to eat. And Amnon said, Have out all men from me. Basically, guards, go, leave us. And they went out every man from him. And Amnon said unto Tamar, Bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand. So now he wanted to be fed like that, because she was just going to give it to him. But that is a figure of speech also, and this one is then the literal one, to a certain degree. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother, because she was just going to give it to him, and then, anyway. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her, grabbed her, and said unto her, Come lie with me, sister. And she answered him, Nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. Right, and what was that thing? Leviticus 18:9. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, which she was. They both had one father, King David. Or the daughter of thy mother, which was not in this case, but still, that's also not allowed. Whether she be born at home or born abroad. Sometimes you might not know your sister until you're older, 16, 18, 24, 25, and sometimes, you might see your sister for the first time. You're looking at her like, oh shit, you look kind of attractive. But if you grew up with her, you would not look at her like that. You would just know your sister is a beautiful or a pretty girl. But you're not going to look at her like, well, damn, that ass. You got a big butt. But, I'm not talking about sexually. I'm just saying, like, well, you got a big butt. Something like that, But if it's your sister that you grew up with, you're not going to think, you're going to see it, man. I mean, like, you're not blind, but you're not going to, you're not going to say it in your head like how you would if she was a stranger. When you see the person for the first time. When you see a person for the first time, you start seeing things. You know, oh, your shoulders, or you're short, or you're tall, or you got skin disease, whatever, man. You're going to notice it. But if it's your sister, you already know that she has the skin disease, for example. So every time you see her, you're going to see it. It's going to cross your mind, but you're not going to be dwelling on it in your mind. Like, skin disease. Because if you grew up with her, you know that she has it, and every time you see her, you're gonna see it. So let me go on. Even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. The nakedness of thy son's daughter. Well, I don't need to read that. It's the same thing. That's the point. You're not allowed. Leviticus 20 and 17. And if a man shall take his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and see her nakedness, and she his, it is a wicked thing, and they shall be cut off in the sight of their people. I wanted to say our people, sorry. He had uncovered his sister's nakedness, he shall bear his iniquity. So the Most High cursed him for David's sake. So that's one. Well, I think that's two, actually. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's one. Yeah, well, it's the same thing. This was not good, and this was wicked. So, verse 13. Let me see if I have more. More? No. Did I do? What? Oh no. 13. So 2 Samuel 13:13. And I, whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. See, only a fool does that. So you had fools in Israel that was doing these things. Now therefore I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. Yes, he would. She just said that trying to get away. Same thing that Adonijah did when he asked for here. He was telling himself that's not the case. Yeah, it was the case. 1 Kings chapter 1 verse. No, it's 2. 1 Kings chapter 2 verse 21. And she said, let Abishag the Shunammite, which is Issacharite, be given to Adonijah thy brother to well actually here. So he was talking that the kingdom is mine, like that Michael song, the girl is mine, right? Verse 17. And he said, Adonijah said, speak, I pray thee. Sorry. Yeah. Unto Solomon, the king. This is what he said. And he thought wrong. For he will not say nay, that he give me Abishag the Shunammite to wife. So he thought like, he's not going to say no. On the contrary, he killed you for that. if Adoni had not spoken this word against his own life. So he killed him for that. But he thought that that would not happen. I'm not saying King David would kill him, but I don't think King David would allow that. He was full of himself. Well, actually, she was just saying something, trying to, not do it. You know how girls are. I got a boyfriend. She lying. She just don't want you. But anyway, verse 14. Howbeit, he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her, and lay with her. He raped her. Then, after he was done, Amnon hated her exceedingly. Man. So that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, Arise, be gone. If this doesn't sound familiar, how guys back in the days, they still do it until this day. They have sex with a girl, and after that they done bust that nut, the hatred that comes kicking into them. Fuck this bitch. Get the fuck out of my house, ho. Oh, why? Grab their shit, throw it out the door. Or just start acting mean toward her. I thought we shared the body together. Fuck out of here, ho. But in the beginning he was loving her. That's because you got possessed. The spirit of lust jumped on you, and the spirit of lust is an entity. The spirit of lust jumped on you. You got possessed, and then after that, it left you, and now you realize you're looking at that thing, realizing like, damn, what got over me? Entity got over you. You shouldn't say got over you. What got in me? That's what you should be saying. Entity, a curse. For a moment in time, he made you feel that love. That wasn't you. That was that thing. It can stroke your heart. Play the harpoon, whatever. All these beautiful sounds go off when you see the girl. Then when you bust that nut, like a squirrel, that love flies away. And then then you kick in, bitch. Women have it too. Might sleep with you today, or this, now, and then tomorrow she hates you. I can't believe I let you youth me. Rape. Or she gonna just hate you. If she knows she can't get it, she can get it. She can't get away with the rape thing. Then she's just gonna hate you. Or sometimes, sex is good for a few years until she get pregnant. Woo-hoo! Then the hatred kick in. Boom. That's one of the curses of Deuteronomy. That's the other curse, But this one is the sexual one night stand demon lust curse. That's what he got. That's what a lot of you dudes got too. You're possessed. You should be feeling unclean. You should go wash yourself with soap. I'm just kidding about the soap part. Ain't no way you gonna get clean. You need to pray to the Lord. Anyway. 16. And she said unto him, there is no cause. Well, there's no reason for you to, This evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me, the rape. Which was evil? It's your sister. But yet the Most High is cursing the whole household of King David because he murdered. He He murdered. He committed adultery on Uriah and then murdered him. Going on. Which he was forgiven for. So you might be like, why are you always repeating that? Well, it's in the scriptures, but I'm making a point as an example. With example, sorry. Let me go on. So it says here, then he called his servant that ministered unto him. Oh, sorry, wait. But he would not, hearken unto her. Then he called his servant that ministered unto him, and said, put now this woman out from me. Kick her out. And bolt the door after her. And she had a garment of diverse colors upon her. For with such robes were the king's daughters that were virgins apparelled. Then his servant brought her out and bolted the door after her. Because back in the days we had different type of clothing. For example, Judith had her widow clothing, and then she did her hair beautifully. In the other translations, it said and brushed it. Let me read it.